Hola, buenos dias. Me llamo Señor Hodge, and today we are going to be reading this book. Our Flag Was Still There, the true story of Mary Pickersgill and the Star-Spangled Banner. It is written and illustrated by Jessie, Hartland. And I am here too to do a little bit of reading as well. I will be the different characters in the story. All right. Here we go. There's our title page. There's our copyright page, and here we go. The year was 1813. Only 30 years had passed since America's 13 colonies fought long and hard for independence from Great Britain, and we wanted to be free. But in 1813, we were once again at war with England, the world's most powerful nation, and the British were on their way to capture Baltimore, a thriving port city near the nation's capital. The British are coming! It was another muggy June day in Baltimore. There stood Major George Armistead, ready to lead American troops to defend Fort McHenry. Hello, my name is George Armistead. British are coming. In the days before internet, phones, television, and radio, messages were sent by flags. Ships communicated with one another by spelling out words with flags. Some wordless flags used images to convey meaning. Look at all the flags on this page. There's some there in the middle that have messages on them, like fresh oysters, the best bread. Then you've got all these flags on the sides that are just images that say different things. I'm sure many of you have probably seen this one before on pirate ships. George wanted to send a big message to the British. This land belongs to America. Oh, my turn. It is my desire to have flag so large that the British will have no difficulty seeing it from distance. But who could make such a flag? You know what? I think I could make such flag because I am a really good flag maker, you know? Pirro, let's just read the story. Lucky for George, not far away, lived Mary Pickersgill. Look at her flag shop, where she makes flags. Mary had learned the flag-making trade from her widowed mother, who had also made blankets and uniforms during the Revolutionary War. By now, Mary was widowed herself. She owned and ran her own business, and she had help from her mother, daughter, 2 nieces, and an indentured servant. Were Mary and her team up for the job? It was a shop operated entirely by women. Back then, that was very unusual. It is big rush. It is a rush, a very big rush. Can you do it, Mary? Can you make flag for us to say, listen, guys, this is America. Go away. I add little extra detail to story, for dramatic emphasis. All right, well, we should not add to the story, Pirro. I don't think Jessie Hartland wants us adding any words to her story. We're just reading her book. We have to be respectful of the autor or autora. Oh, so here's her response. Oh, it is my turn. I get to be Mary. Hello, yes we can. And they had just weeks to make it. The British were on their way. Oh my goodness, ladies, you have to make flag fast because British on way. Day and night, night and day, the women worked together. Each tiny stitch was a small step towards a big flag and freedom from British rule. The flag grew and grew. I know Spanish word that describe flag be very big. It is called grande, Grande means really big. Yes, this flag is very grande, that's for sure. Let's see. When they ran out of fabric, More was delivered along with other supplies. How's flag going, Mary? Oh, it's too big! The half-finished flag was moved. Wow, es muy grande. It was moved across the street to a brewery, and the flag was finished in just 6 weeks, just in time for... Is it for my birthday? No, not for your birthday, Pirro. The British to retreat to the West Indies at summer's end. Chilly weather was coming. The new flag was hoisted over the fort anyway. But the war waged on, and America was losing. A year went by. In the summer of 1814, the British attacked Washington, D.C. The capital was in ruins. The White House was burning, and the British were again on their way to Baltimore. Would they attack this time? Oh, I think I know little solution. I think that the White House need to call bombero. You know, bombero, Spanish word for firefighter. You know, firefighter, help put out fire. You know, I'm trying to solve my problems. Pow, boom, bam! Under a stormy day at Fort McHenry, 16 British ships attacked, firing bombs and screaming rockets. American gunners returned the fire, shooting cannonballs and mortars. The wind whipped, the lightning cracked, and thunder roared. The battle went on for 25 hours, and both sides were drenched. That is a little bit scary. Let's find out what happened next. As dawn came and the storm pulled away, the flag peeked out of the clouds. The British retreated and the battle was over. The people of Baltimore woke to see their enormous flag was still there. They cheered, Yankee Doodle played. This land is America. We won, hurrah! Meanwhile, all through the battle and the following celebration, American poet and lawyer Francis Scott Key was detained at a meeting on a British boat. As the sun rose, Key saw the huge flag still flying over the fort and was inspired to write a poem in honor of the victory. The poem was set to a popular tune and became the lyrics to a song. After generations, the song eventually became our national anthem. What happened to the flag? Whoa. Okay, let's see. Well, it became the property of George Armistead's heirs. For over 100 years, the old flag was occasionally paraded out, sometimes snipped at for souvenirs, and stuffed into a safe deposit box in New York City. In 1912, it was given to the Smithsonian Institution in Washington, D.C., where it was restored. Then it was crammed into a case where it was eaten by moths. More than 50 years later, in 1964, a new, bigger museum was built with a specially designed space for the flag. In 1996, a design team planned a new exhibit which included a total restoration of the flag. Conservators carefully snipped off 1.7 million tiny stitches of the old cloth backing, cleaned it with over 10,000 sponges, and carefully attached a new backing. The flag, at that point over 200 years old, had a new home in a display case that controlled the light, humidity, and temperature. Today, if you go to the Smithsonian's National Museum of American History, you can see Mary's flag. Have you ever seen a bigger flag? It's pretty big. When you sing the Star-Spangled Banner, remember Major Armistead and his wish for America to be a free country. Remember Francis Scott Key, who was inspired by the very same flag to write these words. Remember Mary Pickersgill, and her can-do team of seamstresses, the Star-Spangled Banner. Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Look at on their class wall. It says, tomorrow, class trip to the Smithsonian Museum of American History. And that is El Fin, the end. Here's some more information, some author's notes, and the sources and bibliography, as well as a timeline. I think we should take a look at the flag in the Smithsonian. I think we can take a look on Google Maps. Let's see. All right, so if we go on Google Maps, we can type Smithsonian Museum of American History. There it is. And if we zoom in and then grab the little person down here, we can drop them inside the museum. And here is the exhibit, the Star-Spangled Banner, the flag that inspired the national anthem. Unfortunately, it doesn't let us go inside the exhibit. We can just see the entrance here. So I Google searched it and found all these photos. There is the flag that we were just reading about. But I went on the Smithsonian's website and they have this, here's the flag too, like in detail. And you can click Begin Interactive Map, and you can really zoom in on all the fine details of the flag we read about, and it tells you some of the history. So pretty cool. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the story and learning about our flag and national anthem. Until next time, adios.